Everyone needs to take a moment to process what we've just uncovered. It's absolutely shocking. The situation is so tangled, perplexing, and disrespectful that even the most dramatic reality TV shows couldn't have scripted something like this. Kirk Frost is in serious trouble. This is no minor issue. We're talking about major secrets, hidden truths, and a scenario that could alter everything. At the heart of it all is Kendra Robinson, young Jock's wife. This drama is about to rock the entire love and hip-hop universe. Kirk looks as uneasy as someone who forgot their spouse's birthday. Why? Because the truth about his affair has been exposed, and it's as dramatic as anything you'd see on reality TV. The drama is escalating quickly, and things are spiraling out of control. Kirk might soon need to make a quick escape before everything unravels completely. Could this mark the end for Kirk and Rasheeda? Will young Jock explode in anger? Just when we think it couldn't get worse, another shocking revelation surfaces. And this time, the stakes are higher than ever. Kirk has always found a way to avoid facing the consequences of his actions, but this time, he's trapped. This situation isn't just about his infidelity or Rasheeda forgiving him again. It involves someone much more powerful, someone who won't tolerate disrespect. Let's break this down step by step. Kirk thought he was being clever, thinking no one would discover what he was up to. But as always, the truth comes to light. People are now saying that he and Kendra Robinson have been spending an unusual amount of time together. Yes, you're thinking of the same Kendra, young Jock's wife, the woman who has always been protective of his image and who prides herself on professionalism. Kendra is well aware of Kirk's past, his infidelities, secret children, and shady dealings. But this situation is different. Kendra is no ordinary woman. She's a lawyer, a strong, competent professional who deals with legal matters, not someone who stirs up trouble. So why is her name connected with Kirk? Sources close to them say that Kendra was assisting Kirk with legal issues, handling some of his business affairs, and making sure things ran smoothly. Initially, it was all business, but over time, things shifted. I'm not saying Kendra was involved romantically with Kirk or sneaking behind Jock's back, but the details don't paint a good picture. There were late-night phone calls, secret meetings, and one business trip that Rasheeda wasn't invited to, something she was absolutely not happy about, especially since she's never one to be excluded from Kirk's business. And this is where things get even wilder. Mendeecees, who usually stays out of other people's business, got involved. He only intervenes when his money or reputation is at risk, but this time, he was furious. Here's why. Kendra wasn't just helping Kirk with business. She was also handling legal matters for Mendeecees. When he found out that she and Kirk were spending extra time together, he became suspicious and wasn't about to let it slide. Not long ago, Kirk and Mendeecees had a private meeting, and things were definitely tense. And let me tell you, things didn't go well at all. Kirk attempted to defend himself, insisting that everything with Kendra was strictly professional and that there was nothing personal between them. However, Mendeecees wasn't buying it. To make matters worse, someone leaked a voicemail where Kirk said things he definitely shouldn't have. If Rasheeda hears that voicemail, it's game over for him. This was the breaking point for Rasheeda, who after years of lies, cheating, and public humiliation, finally reached her limit. But instead of confronting Kirk first, she went straight to Mendeecees. Upon hearing the voicemail, Mendeecees knew things were about to blow up, leading to one of the most intense confrontations yet. Kirk was at one of his lounges, assuming everything was fine, completely unaware of what was coming. Then suddenly, Mendeecees walked in. Witnesses say that Mendeecees didn't waste any time. He went straight to Kirk and put him in an incredibly tough spot. Kirk, clearly nervous, started making excuses, desperately trying to find a way out, but Mendeecees wasn't having it. He gave Kirk a stern warning, making it crystal clear that if Kirk was involved with Kendra in any way beyond business, there would be serious consequences. And we all know what that means. But the real issue wasn't even that. The real question is, what happens when young Jock finds out his wife's name is tied to all of this? We all know how Jock reacts when he feels like someone's playing games with him. Just when we think things couldn't get worse, there's one last twist. After everything that went down, Kendra had a final private conversation with Kirk. What she told him in that moment could change everything. So after all the chaos, all the warnings, and all the threats from Mendeecees, Kirk still had the audacity to meet with Kendra again? If that's not asking for trouble, I don't know what is. And let's not forget about Rasheeda in all of this. If she was the one who leaked that voicemail, Kirk would have bigger problems than both Mendeecees and Jock combined. Right now, Kirk might want to start sleeping with one eye open because he's right in the middle of a storm he's not prepared for. Believe me, this is only the beginning. Part 2 of this mess is going to dig even deeper into what happened during that secret meeting. And trust me, things are going to get much worse. Now let's talk about that so-called private meeting between Kirk and Kendra, because that's where things go from messy to downright dangerous. After Mendeecees confronted him at the lounge, you'd think Kirk would have learned his lesson. You'd think he'd focus on Rasheeda and stop playing with fire. But no, Kirk Frost seems allergic to peace, common sense, and self-preservation. He just can't stay away from trouble. So, what does he do? He contacts Kendra again and arranges a last-minute low-key meeting. He claims it was all for business, but let's be real. If it was just business, why did it need to be a secret? And guess who found out about this secret meeting? Young Jock. Jock had no clue his wife was still involved in all of this mess. Kirk thought Kendra had nothing to do with him anymore. But the worst part is, Jock didn't find out about it from either Kendra or Kirk. Instead, he heard it from Mendeecees. Now, we all know Mendeecees and Jock aren't exactly buddies. But one thing about Mendeecees is that he won't let another man look foolish. As soon as he got wind of what was going on, he wasted no time and went straight to Jock. And when Jock heard the news, he absolutely lost it. Mendeecees told him, "You might want to talk to your girl, because she and Kirk are still out here doing shady things." Let's not forget, Jock had already gone on national television defending Kendra, vowing that she was loyal and full of integrity. Now, whispers were spreading about her involvement in all this drama. That was a huge slap in the face for Jock. But things took an even crazier turn from here. Instead of waiting to hear Kendra's side of things, Jock decided to handle it his way, by going straight to Kirk. Imagine this. Kirk is sitting there, probably thinking he dodged a bullet after Mendeecees gave him that warning. He's feeling safe, thinking everything has settled down. And then, out of nowhere, Jock walks in. The entire atmosphere in the room shifted instantly. Witnesses say it was obvious something big was about to happen. One thing was for sure. Someone was going to reveal all of Kirk's dirty secrets. And trust me, this was just the beginning of the chaos. Even though Jock is known for joking around, when he's angry, he doesn't waste time. He walked straight up to Kirk, looked him in the eye, and asked, "So, you're just out here meeting with my wife in secret?" As expected, Kirk tried to act confused, saying, "It's not like that, man, it was just business." But Jock wasn't buying it. Let's be honest. How many times has Kirk said it was just business, only for the truth to be something completely different? Jock didn't argue. He simply pulled out his phone and began searching for proof. Kirk had no clue that the messages had already been forwarded, invoices had been leaked, and, oh, that voicemail. The one where Kirk was talking to Kendra in a way that didn't sound professional at all. Jock had it all ready. Kirk kept insisting nothing was going on, but Jock didn't even flinch. He just looked at Kendra, and without saying a word, Kendra hit play on the voicemail. As soon as the message played, Kirk's expression changed. He knew he was caught. This wasn't just a casual business conversation. He sounded way too comfortable, saying things that went far beyond work. That was when Jock completely lost it. I don't know exactly what Jock said next, but whatever it was, it made Kirk regret every single decision he had ever made. Kirk had always been the type to wriggle his way out of trouble, but this time, there was no escape. And if that wasn't enough, Rasheeda walked in. Yes, the woman who had stuck by Kirk for years. The wife who defended him over and over, even after all the public humiliation. The moment Rasheeda walked into that room, the atmosphere completely changed. Everyone could feel it. The tension was palpable, and people began to experience secondhand embarrassment just being there. This was it. Now Kirk was truly in trouble. Rasheeda isn't the type to make a scene. She usually keeps her emotions in check. But this time, it was different. She had been silent for far too long, forgiven too much, and for what? To walk in and find her husband standing there, caught red-handed, stumbling over his words, while Jock was on the verge of throwing punches? This time she was done. She didn't scream, didn't yell, didn't even raise her voice. She simply said one word: Kirk. Her tone was calm, almost unnervingly calm. There was no anger in her voice, only exhaustion. And that exhaustion, that quiet resignation, was far more devastating than any outburst. She just stared at him and asked, "So this is what you've been doing?" Kirk opened his mouth, likely to offer the same lies he always did, but this time, nothing came out. What could he say? What excuse could he offer that would make this situation better? He had nothing. Jock, realizing his part was finished, took a step back. But before walking away, he gave Kirk one last piercing look, a look that said, "You're lucky I handled this the way I did," before leaving. And just like that, Jock was gone. Because really, there was nothing else to say. Kirk had spent his whole life running from consequences, but this time he had nowhere left to hide. Rasheeda looked at him for what felt like an eternity, then shook her head. It was as if she was asking herself why she'd ever wasted so much time on him. Without another word, she turned around and walked away. Kirk didn't follow. He didn't move. For the first time, he truly understood that he had lost. And this time, there would be no coming back, but it gets worse. In that moment, Kirk thought the worst was over. He hoped, maybe, just maybe, Rasheeda needed some space to cool off, but he was wrong. Very wrong. Instead of trying to calm things down with Jock, Rasheeda did something no one saw coming. She sided with Jock. Yes, you heard that right. She stood there, silent, letting Jock go off on Kirk without saying a word in his defense. And that, right there, was the moment Kirk realized she knew everything. She had seen the proof, connected the dots, and now she was just letting him unravel. Kirk, still in shock, probably thought she was too angry to react,